Ladies, every so often, a story is bigger than I could hope for. It's so ridiculous, so grandiose. You literally can't make this ish up. So I'm just going to read you the headline of the story, and we'll dive into the details of it. There's a man who is petitioning an Iowa judge for trial by combat in a divorce case with swords, mind you, with Japanese samurai swords. And he wants to fight his ex-wife's attorney in a potential duel to the death. Now, you might hear that and think, surely that's not legal. Well, it's not illegal. There's literally no law that prohibits it. I think it's one of those the spirit of it is definitely not okay. I didn't think we had to put this in writing, but as anyone who works in HR knows, eventually everything gets put in writing because some guy named Doug or Bo goes ahead and ruins it for everyone else by fighting his samurai swords over in the kitchen area. So David Ostrom and Bridgette Ostrom have been going through a bitter divorce, and David claims that Bridgette and her attorney, quote unquote, destroyed him legally. He also wishes to exploit this legal loophole and has petitioned the Iowa Judge Craig Dreismeir to grant him a trial by combat similar to Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, which maybe that's where he got his inspiration from, was just watching the musical Hamilton. Who knows? By the way, the single greatest rap lyric of all time, I think, goes to The Lonely Island. When they Lazy Sunday, and there's a line where he goes, "You can call me Aaron Burr from the way I'm dropping Hamiltons," as he places a $10 bill on the cash register. And I don't think anything better has ever been written. Humble opinion. In any event, so he is asking the judge to grant him trial by combat so he can fight his wife's attorney, Matthew Hudson. And he's also asked for 12 weeks in order to procure Japanese samurai swords. So he's doing the due diligence, probably, Craigslisting or eBaying it. And David said, quote, "I think I've met Mr. Hudson's absurdity with my own absurdity," end quote. Since his former wife could theoretically choose Hudson to act as her champion, Hudson responded with, quote, "Such ramifications likely outweigh those of property tax and custody issues that we have fought for," end quote. And he asked the judge to dismiss David's request like a reasonable human being would. And so my question for you is, what the heck is happening right here?
Well, so what happens if they do duel it out and he wins? Is it just like you win, or do you get things back?
I think the implication is it could potentially be a fight to the death. And, it's a barbaric law of old that in less developed pockets of the world, you could, I think of Black Panther. Did y'all see Black Panther?
Yeah.
Where he's fighting for the role of king, and it's basically trial by combat. I think this guy watched Black Panther and he thought, this is a great idea. And I picture this 40-year-old man in Kansas, Midwestern or in Iowa.
Kansas, everything happy.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, you got to drive through Oklahoma. By the time you get to Kansas, you just can't go any further. And
they're just so bored.
Yes.
That's this is the most exciting thing that can happen here. This was probably before the Chiefs made the Super Bowl. So
this is pretty exciting. I think this tops a lot of things that have happened as of late. So
not for nothing. It is.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, style points. And second of all, I can tell you my parents went through a very messy divorce, and I'm sure that they would have been in their craziness of all that, this is a great idea. Why not?
Sounds amicable. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any judge would entertain this. However, there's part of me that thinks we could pay-per-view this thing, and some promoter could make a killing.
Who cares about the McGregor fight anymore?
Oh,
Let's get the
McGregor
Kansas
Cowboy
divorce.
Old hat. Kansas divorce. Pay-per-view. Here we go. Trial by Japanese samurai swords.
You know what I would say, though, is when I think about this, I'm like, I can see why she's divorcing him.
That's
all added
like
up.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
as soon as you hear this, well, you put two and two together. I don't think it's such a stretch.
I totally get
I think
it.
she should just get everything at this point. The judge knows.
I think if there is an appeal, her one argument should be, see?
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
And then
Now
the judge
we
will
get
be
it.
like, no, we're on board. We're on board.
Yeah, he's not saying there. No.
Yeah, I would be divorcing too if he was willing to suggest that.
The rational side of me says shut it down, but the carnal side of me says, but what if we did monetize this?
Good point.
Could be interesting. Could be very disturbing. It could go a lot of ways, but I think we should just see which way it goes.
I'm entertained if nothing else.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
We'll let the
Yes.
internet do what it does and
all we
see
need.
where it carries it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next season on The Mandalorian.